Doctors now awaiting the results of tests on a man at a major Manhattan hospital to see if he has the deadly virus that can kill up to 90% of those it infects. The man was tested after being admitted to the hospital with a high fever.
Extra. Read all about it. Man in New York might have Ebola.
Where Ebola has been detected. We have this fast-moving story covered from several angles tonight as it develops. Jason Carroll outside Mount Sinai Hospital here in New York. Dr. Sanjay Gupta outside Emory University Hospital in Atlanta. That's where another American with Ebola is being treated. And another American, a third with a confirmed case of Ebola, will arrive there tomorrow. Our David McKenzie is the only television reporter in Sierra Leone, where troops have just been deployed to help contain the deadly outbreak and the panic there. And I want to begin, though, with Jason, with you here in New York City. What's the latest?
Well, Aaron, I think what's important to remember here is that doctors are really acting with an abundance of caution after this patient came here, was able to walk in, and was immediately isolated after doctors learned that he had been to this area in West Africa. Here's what's important to know about this. A New York City Health Department official tells CNN that after having conversations with the CDC and after checking with doctors here, that spokesperson says that he believes that it is unlikely that this patient has Ebola. Also, during a press conference just within the past hour, the chief medical officer here at Mount Sinai with the Mount Sinai Health System says odds are that the patient does not have Ebola. But the fact that this patient was in West Africa, came in this morning with flu-like symptoms, doctors here thought it would be best to act with this abundance of caution. He was immediately isolated. In fact, he is still in isolation. Tests are being run right now as we speak. And Aaron, it should take anywhere between a day and a half before we know these test results. Yeah. And until the test results are in, this patient is being treated, as we said, with this abundance of caution. He is being isolated.
Aaron. So, Jason, do they have a system in place? You know, they say isolated, but were they really prepared?
Absolutely, without question. You know, doctors here, there is a unit here where doctors are accustomed to dealing with patients like this. They know what the protocols are. They know what to do. They know how to treat patients, even with a rare, possibly, you know, a rare virus like Ebola. They're treating the symptoms. What I'm being told is, you know, if he has a fever, they do what they can to try to bring the fever down. If the patient becomes dehydrated, you do what you can to try to hydrate the patient. There are a number of doctors here, Aaron, who are accustomed to dealing with a patient just like this.
All right, Jason Carroll, thank you very much. I want to go now to Atlanta and Emory University. Sanjay Gupta is there. And Sanjay, you've been watching here the American doctor with Ebola. He's being treated there, was brought, of course, from Africa back to the United States with Ebola. How is his condition tonight?
Well, we hear that things are looking pretty good for him. It's the hospital right here behind me where that special isolation unit is located, where Dr. Kent Brantley is. He is the first American to ever set foot on U.S. soil with Ebola. We heard he had a conversation with his wife yesterday, Aaron, 45 minutes. They had to do it through a glass wall for her protection. They did it over an intercom and a phone system, but things are looking pretty good. But I'll tell you, Aaron, it's been a rocky several days for Dr. Kent Brantley, somewhat culminating with an experimental serum that was flown to Liberia to try and save him.
Last Thursday, Dr. Kent Brantley thought he was going to die. It was the 9th day since he came down sick with Ebola. His condition worsening by the minute.
Why does this doctor look like a TV actor?
To say goodbye.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
But he also knew just hours earlier a secret, highly experimental
drug
anybody
called watches this, there's a show that just came out called The Strand, and they're saying that the virus on the TV show breaks out through bat guano or feces, and it's only so weird that if you know your shit, Ebola is transferred through bats and other species like that, through feces and other ways and means.
It was a risk. The treatment had been tried in monkeys,
you
and it seemed to work.
Do your
but
research.
Never before had it been tried in a human, not even to test safety. Dr. Kent Brantley would be the first. While doctors don't often use this term, They describe what happened
facial
next
shots they
as
got of this
miraculous.
man. Like if they, it's like
Within an hour of receiving
prepared
the
or
medication,
I don't know
Dr.
what was
Brantley's
his footage
condition
at
seemed to make a dramatic
when he
turnaround.
went there. Why did they
His breathing improved.
put this
the
footage
rash
out
over
then?
his trunk nearly faded away.
I do hope that it was as impressive
And this is
as
like the
being
17th
described, because
time
if
they
it is,
showed this.
that bodes very well for that particular product.
By the next morning, Brantley was able to shower on his own before making the 6,000-mile transport to Atlanta. Saturday afternoon, another first. Watch as Brantley walks off the back of the ambulance. He became the first patient infected with the Ebola
he's
virus
the
to ever
fucking
set foot
host,
in the United
guys. He
States,
is the
or even this
host.
part of
Come
the
on,
world.
people. I don't even like calling
his
you people.
colleague Nancy Wrightball, who also
what should I
received the
say?
ZMapp serum, will join Brantley at Emory University
Come
Hospital.
on, viewers,
Dr.
subscribers.
Bruce Ridner leads the team now charged
This
for
shit
saving their
is
lives.
set up, man,
This
like
is
a
the mask
comic
with
book
the,
in a way.
Air purifying system over here. Makes it much more comfortable, I'm sure, to breathe in, and also purifies the air.
He gave me an exclusive look at the protective suit he and his team will have to wear every time they enter the room to treat their new patients.
Dude, the
Covered
people
from head
on
to toe,
Hoarders
his
wear
own
suits
vital
like
signs
that.
will need to be checked
Hoarders.
twice a day.
They wear suits
We know
like
that the
that.
risk
You
is
telling me
small,
that's keeping
but
out
it'd be
the
even
Ebola?
smaller if
Are
these
you
patients did not
serious?
come here. If you don't have anything magical to provide, why take the risk at all?
I think you've been in that part of the world, and you know the level of care that can be delivered. And our feeling is that they deserve the best medical care they can get.
The best medical care may not be just supportive therapy. It may lie in the experimental serum that likely saved both Brantley and Wrightball's lives.
And I'll tell you, Aaron, the science here is just really neat. They're talking about what is known as monoclonal antibodies. Simply put, they inject animals with the Ebola virus, and they get the cells that start fighting that virus and collect those cells.
Yeah,
and that's
this shit was
essentially what
playing.
makes
He
up the
just
medicine.
told you.
That's what Dr. Brantley received, and that's what they believe caused such a dramatic improvement in his overall condition, Aaron.
I know.
They already said it the other
I know
day.
it was
Would nothing be
untested, but
ready
it was
for
very
about a
risky.
year?
But what about everyone else? I mean, nearly 1,000 have died, all of them Africans. Suddenly, 2 white Americans
Look at her face.
get the disease, and suddenly all the stops get pulled out.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, this had never been done before. I mean, he was the first human, so I think there is now some proof of principle.
The first
And
human.
the question becomes, is this something that could be, made more available
Why would they
to
not
the
give it
masses?
to the Africans,
This is a very
like she
unusual
said?
situation, Aaron. Typically, you test things. It goes through a clinical trial, the test for safety, the
Right.
test for how effective it is, and then they figure out if it can be distributed to the masses. This sort of accelerated things, and we know that the particular company that's making this has already secured more funding to do exactly what you're saying. It doesn't happen overnight, but maybe this is something that could help a lot of people out there, as you say.
Gotta hope. All right, Sanjay Gupta, thank you very much. And now Bruce Johnson is the president of SIM USA. That's the organization Nancy Wrightball was working for in Liberia. As Sanjay mentioned, Nancy is en route. She's going to be back in the United States tomorrow, the second person ever in history with Ebola to be brought on purpose to American soil. And to our knowledge, the second person ever with Ebola to be on American soil.
Did she just say on purpose?
Bruce, how is she doing?
I just got a report that she's ready to go on the flight. She's not in the airplane. They'll be transporting her from our mission campus there in Monrovia, Liberia, and get on the plane. And if all goes well, she'll be on U.S. soil sometime tomorrow.
And do you have any knowledge at this point? We were just looking at that incredible footage of Dr. Brantley stepping out of that ambulance in the
Incredible
suit,
bullshit
with
footage.
Ebola,
That probably
after
even that
serum
fucking
appeared
doctor.
to so miraculously save his life. Do you know if it's had a similar impact on Nancy?
Dude, his shit ain't
The
even tied
reports from our
down. Look at
medical
that.
doctors
His mask
there
ain't even
on-site
tied
caring
down like
for
how
her
the doctors are
is
supposed
that
to be.
she's in a more weakened condition. However, today has been a good day. Matter of fact, her husband David told me that her appetite is returning, and she asked for her favorite Liberian meal, potato soup, which is a great sign.
That is a great sign. And what about the experimental serum? Do you have any sense? I know she's had a chance to talk to her husband. Was he able to tell you anything about? We just heard how miraculously with Dr. Brantley, he took it, and an hour later, the rash disappeared from his torso.
An hour
and
later.
Miraculously.
Sarcasm.
Do you know how quickly or if it had similar impact on her?
Nancy received her second dose today. The indication is that it did not have quite the impact on Nancy as it did Kent. However, the slight improvements that our doctors there have been seeing have been encouraging. They indicated, they said, you know, Nancy might not be in the condition where she's able to walk off of the transport vehicle like Kent did, so don't be surprised by that. This disease really can weaken the body, and Kent is much younger than Nancy, and so we're just grateful and very cautiously optimistic about how she's doing right now.
And Bruce, you know, everyone is rooting for her and wants her to get better. Of course, there has been, you know, criticism that the United States would choose to bring people, no matter how tragic the situation.
Yeah, because they could have brought the shit to them.
A disease
they could have brought all the equipment in the world to them. They bring it to the space station.
What do you say to those who say, well, this risk isn't worth it?
You know, I was talking with her husband David yesterday on the phone, and we were talking that Nancy and Kent,
dude, what if something breaks the fuck
what
out?
They have gone through,
and then are they gonna say it's worth it that a fucking population dies the fuck out, or a populace,
you know,
or a metropolis dies out?
Worth it.
Come on, guys.
What we went through, and so I don't have confirmation on this, but I would imagine that the doctors
at Emory
Hospital are saying this is a wonderful opportunity for us to do research, find out how the body has reacted to this.
There you go, keyword.
And
can't let
we're praying that they'll be able to
waste.
find and produce a medicine.
Remember, there was a guy that wanted to have Ebola released onto the United States, and he said he would love or enjoy that if Ebola broke out in the United States. I can't remember who it was.
I just heard that segment about the person in New York going to the hospital. Earlier this week in Charlotte, we had a similar situation. Someone went to our local hospital, said, I've been in Liberia, I'm not feeling well. That's exactly what they should do. But here's the difference. We have a tremendous medical infrastructure in the United States. So the likelihood here,
but what if some bitch-ass motherfucker that got that shit don't got cable,
and I really
like a Liberian
your
African,
reporting and Dr. Gupta to help me and my fellow citizens in America know that this is something that, because of our great infrastructure,
that motherfucker just sitting in his house,
really
nigga, with some stanky ass feet and some funky shit
and
boiled on the stove,
Bruce makes, which is if Nancy
coughing up a storm,
Dr. Brantley had not gotten this
building
disease,
up a
that
whole
serum would not have been
room
tested,
full of that
and hundreds
shit.
more would have died. So
then just, hey, it's a warm day, I need some air.
Just
decide to keep the fucking front door open.
Bruce. And out front next, Sierra Leone is the country with the most cases of Ebola. It's basically shut down at this point to go in and out. But our David McKenzie is the only television reporter in the country right now. And
I'm gonna stay on this Ebola shit for the guys, for the girls, ladies, the jets, the G's, the young kids that don't know what the hell was going on.
How did he get it?
Hopefully new subscribers.
Man,
if you got any ideas, tell me what I can track down for you. I track it down, baby. Mission Impossible.